You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. As a food pantry in Ladysmith prepares to close for good, Feed My People Food Bank has announced plans to step up and fill that food access gap. According to a press release, Feed My People Food Bank is coordinating with a number of hunger relief partners in western Wisconsin to prepare for the closure of the Indian Head Community Action Agency's Rusk County Food Pantry on September 30th. The organization is considering a variety of solutions, including reopening previously closed food pantries, launching mobile distribution hubs, or opening entirely new facilities. Spooner area kids will have an opportunity to participate in a pair of hunter education certification courses over the next few weeks. The Indian Head Rifle and Pistol Club will host a hunter education class beginning Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. with additional classes scheduled for August 16th, 19th, and 23rd. The course is designed for students with little to no experience in shooting. The organization will also host a hunter education internet field day in September for more experienced students. Enrollment for both can be completed on the DNR Go Wild website. A Wisconsin state lawmaker has joined counterparts from Iowa, Minnesota, and North Dakota in filing an official complaint over air quality concerns from Canadian wildfires. State Representative Calvin Callahan signed on to the letter the group submitted to the Environmental Protection Agency, calling for an investigation into Canada's wildfire management practices and for potential remedies under international law. They argue that Canada's failure to contain the wildfires has harmed the quality of life of more than 20 million people in the Midwest. Barron County residents could see an increase in the juror per diem rate at the county board meeting later this month. The county executive committee met earlier this week to discuss the proposal and raised no objections before it receives consideration from the full county board. It's been nearly 20 years since the county's juror per diem rate was increased, and the change would double the rate from $50 per day to $100 per day. If approved at the county board meeting on August 18th, the new rates would go into effect on September 1st. The Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection is accepting applications for its 2026 Producer-Led Watershed Protection Grants program. According to a press release, the program will award a total of $1 million in grant funding to groups supporting conservation solutions and farmer participation in local watershed efforts. Individual groups could receive up to $40,000 of the funding. Applications for the grant funding can be found on the agency's website and will be accepted through September 12th. The Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association has announced the creation of the WIAA Foundation. According to a press release, the new charitable organization aims to promote the state's high school athletics programs with additional support, innovation, and collaboration. The foundation will work to raise funding for grants, new programs, scholarships, and more, with the goal of offering improved resources and activities. Organization officials say their efforts will mainly focus on athletic programs, risk minimization, and officials development. As wildfire smoke finally clears out of the area, the northwest Wisconsin region is now facing excessive heat and humidity with severe thunderstorms possible. Weather officials have issued an excessive heat watch in the region through Friday afternoon, with the heat index possibly reaching triple digits in some areas. As the excessive heat clears out on Friday afternoon, it could give way to potentially severe thunderstorms on Friday night. Residents should be cautious with the heat, limiting time outdoors, staying hydrated, and looking out for heat-related illness. Douglas County highway officials are warning area residents of a damaged bridge in the area. According to a social media post on Wednesday, the Lake Nebagaman Creek Bridge along East County Road B has been closed until further notice due to its deteriorating infrastructure. The highway department did not say if the damage was caused by something or if the aging infrastructure just gave out, leaving open holes in the concrete surface. Area residents should use an alternate route until the heavily damaged bridge has been completely fixed. The State Building Commission approved $110 million worth of infrastructure projects across the state this week. The projects include repairs and upgrades to government buildings, as well as the demolition of buildings deemed obsolete on a handful of Universities of Wisconsin campuses. $7.5 million of that funding will also go towards upgrading the electrical system at a University of Wisconsin Stout Library. The bipartisan State Building Commission voted unanimously to fund all of the projects they considered on Wednesday. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources is inviting residents to participate in another community science opportunity. In addition to the ongoing game bird survey, the agency is also asking residents for their assistance with Operation Deer Watch. The program seeks to track the reproductive status of deer in the state to help the agency make better population management decisions. Interested residents can report the location, age, and sex of the deer they see, and more information on both ongoing surveys is available on the DNR's website. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
Up next, the Mets. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports, baseball. The Brewers at AmFam Field tonight, opening a series against the New York Mets. Milwaukee still with the best record in baseball. NFL, the Packers host the Jets tomorrow night in their first preseason game. Kickoff at 7 p.m. College football, the Wisconsin Badgers will have their final training camp practice at UW-Platteville before moving back to Madison. It's open to the public, 7 o'clock tomorrow night at the Davis Pioneer Stadium in Platteville, Wisconsin. Luke Fickell.
I do know that there's a lot of things that are going in the right direction. I worry about guys coming back out here with the right focus and stuff, and it was very competitive. It was back and forth. We're gaining this competitive maturity that we have to do if we're going to play like this, compete like this on a daily basis. I'm really excited about some of the things that went on today. There's some sloppiness, obviously, we got to correct up there at the end, but really like where we're headed.
That's Badgers head coach Luke Fickell. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. I'm going to take a hard pass on taking comedic advice from Jay Leno. Those are the words of Last Week Tonight host John Oliver. Oliver is absolutely brilliant on his weekly show, where he sometimes will dedicate the whole show to one topic and provide insightful information as well as great laughs, not caring who he offends, and he offends many. Jay Leno, on the other hand, was an outstanding stand-up comedian, and when he took over The Tonight Show, had his funny bone removed, transferring himself into an incredibly mediocre and at times awkward talk show host. According to critics, Leno went painstakingly middle of the road and tried not to offend anyone, thereby turning himself into just an okay host. In his defense, Leno admits he likes political humor, but likes to keep people guessing as to who he was offending or not offending. Oliver, on the other hand, doesn't think his comedy is partisan, but deals more with systemic problems that affect people. If you haven't checked it out, tune in and watch John Oliver not follow Jay Leno's advice. Wednesday has been a big hit for Netflix, winning 4 Emmys last year. The show, a loose spin-off of The Addams Family, follows Wednesday Addams as she comes to terms with her powers during her years at the Nevermore Academy. Wednesday stars Jenna Ortega, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Fred Armisen, and Nightlight regular Jamie McShane. The first part of Season 2 is currently available on Netflix, and the final 4 episodes will drop September 3rd. There's news about The Summer I Turned Pretty. Not The Summer Pete Schwaba turned pretty. Still waiting for that. But actual news about the Amazon Prime show. The show is based on a book trilogy of the same title and for the most part has gone step by step with the storylines. Producers of the show have decided to go off book, so to speak, and add a sex scene. No word yet on as to what the sex scene entails or to what base the characters go to. My guess is they go all the way, but it could just be third base. The story follows a love triangle between Isabel and brothers Jeremiah and Conrad. Sounds saucy. Jurassic World Rebirth is the latest installment in the Jurassic Park franchise and brought in several $100 million globally. But if you like being a couch potato, you can catch it at home now after just 5 weeks. Jurassic World Rebirth is the 7th installment in the franchise and stars Scarlett Johansson and Mahershala Ali. It is now available to stream on Amazon Prime. The Naked Gun reboot pulled in $17 million in its opening weekend. The production has yielded several subplots, including a Liam Neeson-Pamela Anderson romance, and now it's been revealed the director, Akiva Schaffer, almost threatened to quit the project when the studio threatened to cut a certain laugh-getting scene. In the film, a snowman comes to life and is part of a goofy threesome with the 2 lead actors. Schaffer says it was a tribute to the first Naked Gun, and he had to stand his ground to keep it in. The movie is already the shortest feature film I've seen in years, so if the scene had been cut, that pretty much would have made it a short film. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
It is going to be mostly sunny, hot, and humid today. We'll get to right around 90 for a high, but that heat index is going to be in the upper 90s and some places into the triple digits. Tonight, a few scattered thunderstorms, lows in the low to mid-70s. Tomorrow, scattered thunderstorms with a high in the upper 80s to low 90s. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Currently, it's 71.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.